Hey guys, Beth here, and welcome to episode 9 of the Abusing Harvest series, which is the video I promised I would do today, and it is about decks stacking bows with +2 arrows. So what we're going after here is high, very high, flat cold damage, +2 arrows, alongside the dexterity, the cold damage per dex. So this is going to be a very, very, very easy craft, and it's going to cost you practically nothing. We're talking about a craft that is once multi-modded is accounted for, which multi-modding is about 4 exalts, and the base is about 4 exalts, and the hunter exalt is about 2 exalts. This is a craft that is going to cost you about 10 exalt, so one of those more cheaper crafts. So the first thing we're going to want to do is grab yourself a base. So now if you wanted to make yourself a base with +2 arrows and crystallizing, it would cost you a lot. I personally made one myself and it was pretty painful. Now fortunately the league is getting further and further, so it is becoming less and less expensive to get one of those. So you can actually grab yourself a base for as cheap as 4.5x, or you can even go for a dupe service and get one for 1x, and of course 1x is the fee, and you have to bring your own split beasts to get this. Now the odds of getting this is a 1 in 3 chance. So personally, I think this 5 exalt one here is actually a pretty damn good deal. Now once you have yourself the base, all you're going to have to do is regal it. Now once it's regaled, it doesn't matter what you regal so long as it's something you can remove with a lead mechanic. Now I would advise to always, once you're going for these random regals, to always imprint your item first in case of something going wrong. So an imprint is called a crisis chimeral, and it is a save state of your original item. Therefore, if you imprint this this blue base here and you regal something like let's see, something like reduced attributes requirement, which you cannot get rid of with the lead mechanic, you have a save state which you can very easily go back to and try again. So once you do that, once you've regaled something that you can get rid of with the lead mechanics, such as, say, for example, physical damage, which you could remove with physical, or anything else like life gain on kill, which you can remove with life, whatever, you will end up with a rare bow that it has both the cold damage and the +2. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is basically force on the cold. And how we're going to do that is basically very easy. If we look at a bow and we look at the amount of cold mods that are actually available on a bow, you'll see that there are not very many. There is cold resistance as a suffix and the cold damage, and that's it. Meaning, if I go ahead and slam on a hunter exalt and it doesn't matter what I hit, I can always remove it via remove a random influence modifier. So let's say I slam on the Hunter Exalt and I get myself physical damage converted to chaos. I can always remove it via physical. I can always remove this one via physical, and so on and so forth. But if I regal something, or sorry, if I slam something I can't get rid of, so for example, if I was to get increased damage with poison, which I cannot get rid of with the lead mechanic, I can always just go ahead and to remove a random influence modifier to get rid of it. Now once that's done, the only thing I need to do to guarantee that I get the deck stacking mod, this mod here, which is what we want, is to craft cold resistance myself on the bow via the bench mods. So I could go to my bench with a bow, craft on cold resistance. Now if I do so, cold resistance is a suffix, I already have the flat cold because the base itself has the flat cold. I don't know where it is. The base itself has the flat cold. And I crafted on the resistance. So if I augment a new cold modifier with a hunter exalt, with a hunter influence already on the bow, I am guaranteed to get deck stacking. Now at which point I would have the cold which is T1, the +2 arrows, and the deck stacking mod. Nothing else. All I have to do at this point is multi-mod my attack speed, my pen, and I'm officially done. I've got my bow. It cost me about 10x, sells for 15 plus or whatever. Typically, I don't think these actually sell that well, so I don't think this is necessarily a profit craft. But what I do think, though, is that it is much easier to make it yourself and much cheaper to make it yourself. So for the people who are playing things like Ice Shot, or any bow builds that is deck stacking, and that is also especially cold based. Now this is a perfect bow for you guys. So I would recommend going with the thickened bow because obviously it has the highest attack speed of the bunch. That being said, Imperial bow is not the worst either. But yeah, you can grab yourself a base for as low as 5x. Go through with it. Takes about 10 minutes. You're fully done, and you've got yourself a bow. So that's it for this video. Pretty short one for once. And before I go, though, I do want to say a huge thank you to my supporters: Guy Kona, Kfish, Zachary, Luro, Scott, Dr. Radu, Casicus, Francesco, Amazon, Skorov, Mr. Coffee, Mario, and Jungle Dog, as well as anybody else who wishes to remain anonymous. Hopefully this video was informational, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.